I think we're all at least a little emotionally mature. I think people in general are quick to make assessments about other people's relationships based on incomplete information, snapshots of this or that, or how someone responds to hurt. I think when we're looking at the end of someone else's coupling, situationship, or whatever it may be, we're rarely offered a complete story. You could read every text message and hear their voice clips about this or that, but you were not there to see the way in which their energy exchange played out. All you know is what you have been told. If you are an orbiter or someone who is seeking to be in the relationship with the person who is telling you the story, you will ignore all of their faults and follies, potential lies, and attempts to mislead. Ultimately, you will be okay with being misguided because you want to believe the person you are speaking to is honest, pure, responsible, and as delightful as could be. If you're a friend, you will want to back the person telling the story till the end. As their friend, you want to hold space for them and guide them back to living their best possible life. It is what it is. You have loyalty to them, not some specter that floats in and then phases out of the show. People without permanency, or even quasi-permanency, are like guest characters on a sitcom. They are here, then gone. So there seems no reason to listen to their side of the story. As a friend, I listen and hold space for my friends. I search for ways when the space has been created to guide them as they need to be guided. I don't necessarily need to speak with the person on the other side of the story, because I try to creatively fill in the unspoken gaps with empathy, fairness, and understanding. I know my friend who is telling their tale is not perfect, and I know they are responsible for much of their own hurt. But this does not change the empathy and compassion I offer as I attempt to help them heal and tend to their wounds and hardships. When I speak with my friends, or anyone wanting to talk about their relationships, I try to offer a fair and encouraging energy. It is my goal to help other souls stay with the spirit they chose. I do this because love is sacred and challenging to find. And in my opinion, exploring significant relationships is the meaning of life. If you are the partner of one of my friends, know I will always try to help them remember the golden glow that led them to originally fall in love with you. Because I want you both to stick together like glue and hold each other close if your bond is true. I also encourage this because I know every person and program of the world around them is encouraging them to abandon you. Society urges everyone to let go at the first sign of strife. It creates feelings to search for imaginary red flags and tries to convince us that somehow everyone always knows the results of their actions and quotes. When people talk about their wish that their special someone would communicate with them better, I tend to get them to explore what the word means. Everyone and their dog desires better communication in their relationships, but they rarely take the time to define what that word actually means. Due to their inability or unwillingness to explore that term, they tend to lead themselves down a path that causes them to repeat the same hurt from one relationship to the next. When I speak to my friends about relationships and love, I like to prompt them to discuss where they have succeeded and failed. I ask them if they have ever taken the time to define their words or requested their special someone to explain their terms as well. Many arguments occur because we already agree, but we're using words we either don't know or can't agree on what they mean. Other times we fail to give each other the time we need to process things, or we fail to tell the person we adore that we need time to explore our thoughts and feelings. Sometimes we think saying something once or twice is enough, or that the thing we say in the moment applies to every circumstance in life. In relationships, we need to be reminded that we are a priority in our partner's life. And when we feel like we are not, it causes our heart to want to leave. If we are with someone special to someone else, it is our responsibility to let them know they are our favorite show. But sometimes we need to be off on our own. When we look at someone else's relationship and laugh or insult the emotions of how someone else is feeling in a sliver of a second, take a moment to process what you are witnessing. Yes, perhaps they are acting erratic, unusual, or weird, but know there is more to the show than what you see. If you are being exposed to the inner workings of someone else's relationship, dive into the intentions of what is being presented for you to see. Search for the misery that is manifesting, the malice being presented in the story being told. This energy tends to warp and distort your empathy and cause you to believe someone is worse than they actually are. As a consequence, you may miss the information their heart is actually attempting to convey. You may mistake their words for wrath instead of seeing the weathered parts of their spirit and soul. This is often evident within those who are bright and radiate a nimbus glow. People who are pure and good can sometimes latch onto the darkest parts of their path, because hurt can be one of the most intoxicating snacks. If someone you love is bleeding out from their wounds, they will spout negativity beyond what they would normally share because they're trying to navigate an impossible pain, and they may feel like no one cares. This creates an opportunity for you to hold space without request, and is one of the greatest gifts you can give. People want to be heard, and they want to be heard by the people they choose. If someone is sharing their deepest hurt with you, even when it is masked by a story unrelated to their hurt, it offers them the opportunity to have their most inner and deepest parts heard. If someone is maliciously angry and is exposing you to an intimate and perhaps embarrassing moment of the person they allegedly love, take the essence of the circumstance into account. Ask yourself if the person speaking is someone who often belts and screams about how everyone else is always at fault. Ask yourself if your friend ever takes responsibility for their actions and inactions, and file it away for when you decide to take a side, or later when you try to make sense of what they said. If the things they show you or the stories they share are putting their lover on display for the public to see, ask yourself if this is something a good person would actually do. Do they have the qualities you want in your life? And when you do something that offends their sensibilities, will they put you on blast? When it comes to friendships, loyalty is important. But do you actually know what loyalty is? Loyalty is not blindly following someone into oblivion. It is not always supporting someone no matter what they choose to do. It is an oath of allegiance to someone who has the integrity to do what is right and is open to being challenged when they're taking actions that are misguided or wrong. When you are loyal to someone, you are actively attempting to help them. You are searching for ways to protect them and help them achieve goals that are righteous and good. Friendships require loyalty, and this means that friends must be willing to be challenged by each other. Love in life, whether platonic, professional, or romantic, must be open to question. Though wonderful and great, relationships are more than sunshine and smiles. They're more than lollipops and spending time at the park. They are work. They can be challenging, but they're worth it. Because when we have someone in our corner who actually cares and are willing to stand against us in a way that shows us they care, we can discover what it means to live a life that is full, meaningful, and true. Loyalty encourages us to hold space, but it is also tells us when it is time to challenge our partner or friend to ensure we are walking on a path that will lead us to greater days. If we're unwilling to communicate in this way, we will miss opportunities to explore the meaning of life. We will miss incredible and wonderful opportunities to sidestep strife in our future life. It will cause us to look back at our relationships with watery and regretful eyes, because we will know that it was our inaction that planted a seed that led us to plant an unhealthy tree. We will feel sad and unhappy, but not in the loving and good way, because instead of celebrating the greatness of someone sacred, we will know we have squandered the opportunity to feel something real and true. If we give every relationship everything we have, and we're willing to explore it in every way, it will allow us to share our hurt with those we hold close if it ends and we find ourselves having to begin again. It will grant us the opportunity to express ourselves in the most real ways, open doorways for our friends to hear us in the ways we need to be heard, and it will grant us the ability to grow and glow, so we may once again become someone special in our future lover's life.